Ladies and gentlemen, I am Chris Sawyer, KGFI Radio, and I am here where it all began. Yes, I am here with Mrs. Betty BENNISH, the lady, the wonderful lady who is behind BBJAZZ. Hi, Betty, how are you?
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing so wonderful. I just want you to know, look, I love BBJAZZ, and can you tell all the fans and all the people out there, how did it all begin for you?
My love for music, and it was really going to be a hobby that just grew. And I wanted to bring out artists. I wanted to feature up and coming. I just wanted to connect with the people and the music. And I have musical background myself, so it was really important to me to put them in the best light possible, the best setting, so that they could get fans. So I love getting fans for the artists.
Betty, tell me about your musical background.
Well, my mother was a radio singer, and so from a very young age I was playing a violin, singing and dancing. I'm not going to claim that singing, dancing I will, but it's just in the DNA, music.
Wow, that's wonderful. Now, BBJAZZ, what year did you first begin BBJAZZ events?
2001, and actually this is my 14th year kicking off tonight in this theater, starting with contemporary jazz, smooth jazz, some R&B, neo-soul, and I just follow the music, the quality, and you see where it leads me. I have Eric Roberson tonight, and
Yes.
and I'm excited, and I just really want the artists, whether they're a contemporary player or a neo-soul, to have the right platform if possible.
You recently had Dwelly here, who was an outstanding performer. That concert was sold out, and I really enjoyed that show. And you got Rashawn Patterson coming up. Tell me about that, Rashawn Patterson coming up.
Well, Rashawn Patterson is coming March 12th, and of course he is on the top of the list, such a phenomenal artist, and he's been in the theater several times, and actually I give him credit for turning my head to pay attention to some of these neo-soul artists. It was actually Rashawn, and I realized the heart and soul that these artists have for this newer music, the new soul music, and very authentic, and I'm very proud of the last 14 years. I've had George Duke here, Johnny Gill, Rochelle Farrell, Layla Howe. I was looking at the list today going, oh my God, wow. How lucky.
Wow.
How lucky to be able to bring them to this kind of environment, work with them, and get them this close to the fans.
Well, I tell you, it's a pleasure working with you, because every community I go in, people know who you are, you and your husband. They know who you are, and they always have pleasant things to say about you. And one thing I admire about you and your staff is that you guys are a class act, and I really enjoy every time I come here.
Oh, thank you. I know it's not perfect, and I hope the people, when I make a mistake, they forgive me, because I am the lady on the phone talking to them, but we have everything in common. We love music. And they are my supporters.
Absolutely.
And so whether I'm going out to see concerts by myself, if my husband can't go, I feel like I'm out with my friends. And I've just met so many wonderful people along the way. And these are the people that keep this theater alive, keep these artists alive.
Yes.
And so I feel like they're all my friends.
Oh, absolutely. And I highly recommend to everyone out there, please, worldwide, you have to go to a BBJAZZ event. It is incredible. And Betty, can you tell them more about your website, where they can purchase tickets, how they can find BBJAZZ on your social media?
Well, yes, I'm in the social media world now, finally, but in the last few years it's a must. But you can follow us on BBJAZZEVENTS, and I'm on, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever the young people have taught me, I'm there, and I'm always posting good music, new music, and other events besides mine, because this is a music community that I'm cultivating. And also our website is bbjazz.com. And I can't work on that as much on the social media. I can put pictures in, and I can update it. better. So that's a good way to follow us.
And also, you know, KGFI, we support BB Jazz. We are your family. We love you and your husband. And I just want to thank you for the many, many years that you've given the community here in California. And like I said, everyone worldwide, you have to go to a BB Jazz event. And one last thing, too. Let's talk about the BB Jazz Festival that comes around once a year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that sure grew too. I don't know what's happening. I'm a very organic person, and it just, it started out as a hobby. But the first year I had 750 people, 500 probably were friends. And after that, it continued to grow to about 5,000 a day. But it's, once again, I started in the contemporary smooth jazz scene and just kind of kept sliding and following the music, and very concerned for our young people that they should get the quality. And so I kind of tapped into the 90s with the new soul artists, and it's kind of a good fit, and at least it makes me feel good right now. And
Wonderful.
So I've been working on that and just trying to, bring forth some of the 90s artists that maybe, don't have a brand new record yet, but they're still incredible live, and they're so authentic. And if you come to an event of mine and you're not sure who the artist is, trust me, I go out and see everybody first because I want to get that feeling.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to bring the best,
Yes.
best.
You know, Betty, I was meaning to ask you. I was checking YouTube on BB Jazz events, and I saw Peabo Bryson. You brought him here, and he's one of my favorite love singers.
Yeah.
What made you bring Peabo here, and then how was that experience?
Well, when I was doing a lot of contemporary instrumental music, you have to have some singers, and Peabo is one of the artists that connects into that genre because he's just kind of cool, and his hits are on and on and on. Peabo is amazing to work with. He's a great guy. I've worked with him a few times, and we had a nice connection. And I actually met him through Bobby Lyle, who is a very dear friend of mine, who I brought my second year out here to the theater.
Yes.
And Peabo he's timeless. That's what he is.
He really is. He's incredible. As a matter of fact, he just recently followed me on Twitter, and because in a ticket giveaway, I gave them. Did you see that? I asked him. I said, "What year at BB Jazz Festival did Peabo Bryson perform?" And one of the winners got it. And I also added Peebo's Twitter address, and Peabo liked that, and so now he's following KGFI.
Yeah, no, you guys do a great job. You're in there fighting, pitching, promoting. We're over here, set the world on fire, and it helps. It all helps. And social media, like I said, just in the last few years, I've had to get in there. And that's not exactly, what I do, but I'm learning, and it reaches people, and that's what this is about: reaching people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can you give the audience the phone number if they want tickets of BB Jazz to contact you?
Yes, it's 714-377-7574, and then the website is bbjazz.com, and you're going to hear my voice at the end of that phone.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Betty BENNISH, the owner and the promoter of BB Jazz. And like I said, worldwide, you have to come to this event. It is incredible. You get first-class service when you come to a BB Jazz event. Betty, we love you, we thank you, and I know you have to get ready for Eric tonight, but thank you for your time. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Your whole staff, thank you. And thank you, Rudy, for the great shots.
BB Jazz, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chris Sawyer with KGFI Worldwide Radio. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a gift right here, a special gift, Mr. D. Morris. How you doing, D?
I'm good, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me and having me around. It's all good.
Well, first of all, man, I want to say what a fantastic performance
Thank you.
You and Eric Roberson did tonight.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. I saw you guys a couple of years ago. Just a great, great job.
Thank
but
you.
one thing I want to talk about is
Okay.
your new CD
Yes.
that's out. Tell the fans worldwide about that new CD you got coming out.
Well, people of the musical world, my name is D. Maurice, and I have a new CD out. It's called Mosaic. It will be out actually this February 8th, and it is a collection of songs from basically the broken pieces of my life over the last few years. I've dealt with some, major issues and major things, and I wanted to, really communicate that musically and let people, kind of share in our journey. Just because you see us on stage or see us performing doesn't mean that we don't go through this, same things or similar things that most people go through. And I think for me, this album will definitely have you touch on that, but also to, touch on some love, touch on some peace, and other parts of, the anatomy,
Well, I tell you what, man, it's a very, very creative project. What is the single titled on this album?
Right now, I believe the single is going to be Consequences, and Consequences is a very interesting song in that it's about what do you do after you've made a mistake and you've caught yourself making a baby with someone that you didn't think you would be involved with for the rest of your life, So with that particular song, I basically speak on some baby mama drama, that, we deal with, when we make the mistakes of laying down with people that we really shouldn't have ever done that.
Well, absolutely. Is this your first CD?
Yes, it's my solo debut, and I'm very excited about it. This has been a long time coming. I've been working on this album for years and had a lot of songs and a lot of experiences with it, and I'm just glad, I really just got to this point. It's really, really a great thing to complete. This. Yeah. It's been something that's been on my heart for a long time. Yeah.
Explain the title of your CD. Explain that.
Again, Mosaic is, as we know, the art of taking broken pieces, glass, stones, things like that, and bringing them together to create a work of art. And for me, again, Mosaic is just that, with the songs and the experiences and the things that I've gone through. I want to bring all the things that I've done and gone through to the forefront, from my divorce and from the issues I've had with particular women and, just issues even I had with myself and dealing with homelessness and all types of things that just happen in life. Yeah. And so I think with the album and Mosaic, it's going to really bring people together in that they'll have some things that they can, all these experiences that they can relate to or share. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, wow, wonderful. Where can they pick up this CD and tell them about your website and all that social media information?
Absolutely. You can reach me on all of the interwebs, all the social networks at DMOSOUL, DMOSOUL, whether that's Facebook, whether that's Twitter, Instagram, all of the above. And also, too, my website is dmosoul.com. It's also dmaurice.com, DMAURICE.com. And that's where you can purchase the CD. Also, it'll be available on iTunes and Google Play and Amazon and all those other stores as well.
Okay, I know you're touring with Eric, but are you planning on touring promoting your CD?
Absolutely. I have some things planned in the works, and we'll be getting out there touring and hopefully supporting the CD in different cities with CD release parties and concerts and shows. And I just hope to be able to do a few things as well as still on my grind with Eric. Not going anywhere. I love what I do with him, but again, this is just another extension of what we do.
Mm-hmm. Well, keep in contact with KGFI because I contact you on social media.
Yes.
And we will support you always here on KGFI. So let us know what you're doing. Let us know when you tour. Let us know anything so we can put that on our website and let all the fans know worldwide. This guy's a very, very talented artist. And man, what you about to do now after the interview?
Well,
Shake a leg or what?
I'm going to shake a leg, all right. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to shake. I'm going to shake a chicken leg. And, I'm not trying to get an endorsement out there, but Roscoe's, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? I eat chicken. Brother, I got you. Wings, thighs, legs, breast, all of them chickens I'm trying to shake.
Well, I tell you, man, Roscoe's is a great, great place, man. And by the way, when did you guys get in? Did you get in on Friday or?
I got in actually like very late Thursday night. So so that I could rehearse with the band on Friday. Eric got in today, you know, because I do all the heavy lifting and he comes in and gets all the glory. It's just what he does. You know what I'm saying? But I'm doing the lifting. Nah, but I digress.
Now, I know you're interested in the Super Bowl game, so are you guys flying tomorrow morning, or are you going to stay in town to watch the game? Or what?
I wanted to stay in town. I have family here. My aunt and my uncles, all my family's here. They just happen to not be here when I'm here, which is very interesting in that right. But I'm going to forgive them this time, and I'm going to go home and watch the Super Bowl. But I would have loved to have stayed here and enjoyed it with my family.
Wonderful. Well, man, it's nice having you. And Mosaic is the title,
Mosaic.
right? Mosaic, okay?
Yes.
Mosaic Worldwide. So you guys get that CD. This guy's a very, very talented singer. He's very smooth, a great entertainer, and we love this guy, and KGFI will support his music always.
Thank you.
Thank you, man, and we appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody out there that's supporting. I really do appreciate all that you've done.
D. Morris, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready? This is Chris Sawyer with KGFI Radio, Keep God First in Your Life. That's what it stands for. And we're here with the great Eric Roberson. Eric, man, that was a great performance you put on tonight, man.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I had a great time. It's always good to come back on the West Coast. We had a big party in here, so we had a great time, man. And we took a couple of left turns, but it was good left turns. So it gave people a little different show, so it was good.
Let me tell you, man, really what I love about you. First of all, I think you know KGFI Radio. We follow you on social media.
Yes.
And recently, Maurice White of Earth, Wind & Fire passed away,
Right.
and you wrote something about Maurice. Can you reflect what you feel about Maurice White and the work that he has done?
Well, you know, I knew that he was ill for quite some time, and you know, and I remember also, even as a kid, here when he couldn't tour anymore. But you know, he was such a great example of a musical leader. You know, that group Earth, Wind & Fire set themselves apart from so many different people, and he was such a visionary in not only just a sound, I mean, just the horn section alone, but just the vocal arrangements and how, you know, him, you know, that baritone low, would you mind? I mean, it was a perfect chemistry. I mean, it just set some amazing albums, amazing songs, but just a visual show, you know, so visually, musically, he was a visionary, and also just a visual aspect. They just took shows to another level. He's going to be greatly missed, man, because one of the best songwriters we've had, you know, and especially in black music, but just in music, period.
Oh, absolutely. And the band Earth, Wind & Fire, I mean, the whole creation, the man was just blessed and talented. And would you say he set a good example out there?
Of course.
And then too? Okay.
And that's probably one of even the other aspects. And I may not know much of his personal life, but you can know that he carried himself well. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. I mean, what you want to do is you want to be able to represent. And I often say that there's a ministry in all music. You know what I mean?
Yes,
People
it
don't
is.
realize how much like Earth, Wind & Fire might not have been a gospel group, but best believe that you're going to learn lessons from their songs.
But you know what? Did you know Earth, Wind & Fire, though, a lot of their music was sung about God? Did you know that?
Yeah, but that's, I mean, like, okay, like take, I have a song called Deaf Ears, right?
Yeah.
And we often have a lot of conversations like saying, how is that not a gospel song? It's a song about a guy talking to God about a girl. You know, it's like every the verse starts with God. The first word said, the second verse said. So, I mean, whether you're speaking about how powerful, how amazing, how glorifying, or just sometimes if you had a hard day and you had nobody else to talk to, that's someone you can always go to, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think that's through our music. But I mean, just your path of life. And at the same time, I know, I often say this, I know that God is real, my personal testimony, because of songwriting.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, because songwriting, I was given words and given songs that I wasn't wise enough to write. You know, and then later on they would help me through something. So I'll write something and go like, hey, what does that mean? Oh, okay. And then 6 months later, a year later, I go, that's what that meant. That's what I needed that for. You know, so A long time ago, I just learned to just really trust it. I mean, everything you saw on the show, a lot of part of the show was a freestyle. We're just trusting that it's going to already be taken care of.
And I was telling Helen in terms of, because when you do that thing where you call out different names in the audience or whatever they give you, and then you know what, and then your memorization for you to memorize that stuff. I said, Helen, what? He's good. You're a very talented, smart, and blessed young man. So you're right. So when I look at you and your performance, I'm not just saying this, I think of God, because it's a gift from God that you're able to do that.
Well, that's art in general. I think it was Tommy Davidson that told me, so the only person who knows if it's going to work or not is the crowd and God. Mm-hmm. So, you might as well try it and just put your trust in what you do. We don't know just as much as anybody else if the song's going to work out, but you trust it.
You know Tommy?
Oh, yeah. Tommy told me that personally. And that was an aha, life-changing moment when he said that to me. And that's what when we do that on stage, it's showing people that we're willing to fail for a chance to succeed. Mm-hmm. And that's what art is for. We're going to pour all ourselves out of, pour all our heart into something, into music, in hopes that people, like it, in hopes that they're moved by it, in hopes that their lives are changed by it. If not, hey, we just did our best. But I know that my career took the direction it needed when I let go of the steering wheel. When I realized, let me stop trying to be what everyone thought I was supposed to be, and let me just let it happen. My father always say the word "let." It's a powerful word. Mm-hmm. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. It's not I'm gonna force it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna let it shine. And so a lot of times on stage we just let it happen.
Well, Eric, let me tell you something. While you was performing, and I'm sure you heard this before, but my girlfriend Helen, it's the first time that she saw you, and one thing she said, and which is true, she said, you know what, I like that guy because his heart is good. The way you interact with the audience and things like that. And not only that, but your sons. I seen your son on social media. I see you when you go to different colleges and you help them with the writing and things like that. You're very, very blessed. And let me say this. I saw your mom. Okay. Yeah, I watch you, man.
Cool guy.
I saw your mom. And, man, you're just... Where do you get that from? You get that from your parents?
Brought up by good people. Brought up by good people. My father was the kind of guy that if we went to McDonald's drive-thru and they gave us an extra fry by mistake, he's gonna turn back and drive back and give it back. You know what I mean? Just kind of, my mom was that way as well. Like I remember my mom was worked corporate America. I remember coming home just frustrated saying, "I'm gonna start my own business." And my mom went into fashion. I remember that day. I remember the decision she made. And it was a tough decision, and it worked in her favor. So, of course, my sister's an interior decorator. Of course, I want to go into the music business. So it's like they really guided us. But at the end of the day, they say once you know what's right, you got to go with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like just finding what's right, and just follow through. My number one goal really is to be able to sleep at night.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just if I can be the best father, I can be the best husband, I can be the best singer, I can be the best artist, I can be, and just the best person as well. And I had to go through, I got signed to Warner Brothers when I was 19. I was in college. And I'm thankful for the brick walls that followed after that, because I got a great deal of success early on, and then it got really, really quiet. And I went back to college and finished college. And it was very humbling, hard to do. But I wouldn't be the person you see today if I didn't go through that. And I had to learn that, I can't sing my way out of everything. It's still got to learn the business. And at the end of the day, you still got to just work on being a good person, man. Because, not by pointing up to anybody, but just because you write a good song doesn't make you a good person.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that, So, first, I, for one, follow my own songs. You know what I mean? If God gave me the ability to write it, I better listen to him. And at the same time, hopefully, when you're given that kind of thing, we've had people, come up to us say, man, our child has autism and your songs calm them down. Or, I had brothers say, man, listen to music because it helps him with his chemotherapy and stuff like that. When you hear you got those kind of responsibilities, man, how dare I take it lightly, But it comes, man. The apple don't fall far from the tree, man. I got some great parents, a great sister, got a great wife, and even her family as well. So, and now I got 2 little boys, another little boy on the way, and really excited about that. And we trying to do the same with them,
Wonderful.
teach them the morals from the start, Yeah.
So, Eric, what college did you go to?
Howard University. HU, Washington, D.C.,
Okay.
man. Yeah, so it was great. I mean, I had the same English teacher as Donnie Hathaway and had some amazing professors. I was a musical theater major, so it helped out a lot.
Okay. Eric, you did something, man, which was incredible. You sang for Smokey Robinson, and I guess it was a tribute for him. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, he was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was honoring him, and they had several artists all the way from Dennis Edwards and Mary Wilson, but then they also had some of the new generation of singers like Bilal, Avery Sunshine, and myself and Avant, who's from Cleveland, and it was such an honor, man, and really just get a chance to meet Smokey, and it was great because I brought my parents with me. My parents were such big Smokey Robinson fans. I knew there's no way I'm doing this and not bringing them. So much so that it's funny because when I brought my parents, all the artists were like, "Oh, I should have brought my parents." And then Avery flew her mom in the following morning, which was like best thing to do, like bring them here so they can witness it. And it was cool, man. I sang. He has a song called "Daylight in Darkness." It's just a beautiful, amazing song, and I sang that song. And I also did a freestyle for him. I made a song up for him to start it off and everything. So it was just an honor, man. When you look at a person like that who is one of the foundations of songwriting history in America, such a history and such a prolific writer to this day, it's something to really take from. And really stop, man, he's a guy who really took his time. I mean, he took time and talked with my parents, took pictures with my parents, talked with me. And that was my second time meeting him. And both times I met him, he was that way, and that's the way I want to be. I mean, we want to do this for the rest of our life. And I want to make sure I give that kind of energy and spirit that he gives.
Did your parents, did they get a chance to meet Smokey? Did they really?
Yeah, take pictures and hang out. Man, they had a blast, man. They had a blast. My mom, the first thing he said to her was, "Ooh, girl, you so pretty." She was done after that. And it's crazy. This was last year. If I call my dad right now, in the 10-minute conversation, he's gonna bring Smokey Robinson up at some point. Man, let me tell you something. The other day I was listening to that Smokey Robinson song. He going, so it made sense. And it was great that my father brought a songbook from like the 70s, I want to say, a Smokey Robinson songbook. And he showed it to Smokey, and Smokey just gave him a huge bear hug when he saw it. And that was worth the trip right there. Whether I sang a note or anything. So it was really good, man. And I appreciate that not only he took time for my parents, but he took time for everybody who was there. So it was great.
Eric, on stage, you talked about you're working on a project. So I don't know if you can talk about it a little bit, but you want to share with the world about what you're doing.
Yeah. Fonte Coleman, great friend of mine, is an artist. He's a singer in a group called Foreign Exchange, but he's also an amazing rapper. And he was in a group called Little Brother, a rap group called Little Brother. And he's collaborated with so many songs of mine. He's on Picture Perfect, Been in Love on my songs, and then I worked on his records as well. But we're doing a duo album, and we just started, so hopefully it'll come out this year. But it's been a long time. We told fans, probably 2 years ago that we were going to do it, and they've been on us. So it's like we finished these last albums. We said we got to start it now. So now we're in the studio just defining the sound right now. Okay. But one of the most talented, knowledgeable guys I know, and so it's gonna be pretty great.
Well, Eric, we want to thank you, man. I told you before when you were here, Los Angeles love you, man.
Oh,
I mean, they love you. It was a great show tonight.
Thank you.
And where's your next stop at?
Next time I'm going home so I can catch the Super Bowl, and then I go to Columbus, Ohio, on Wednesday, and then I'm doing 3 shows in Bethesda, Maryland for Valentine's Day. Me and brother Jeff Bradshaw, amazing trombone player. Okay.